Chosen from among all others by the immortal elders Solomon, Hercules, Atlas, Zeus, Achilles, Mercury, Billy Batson and his mentor travel the highways and byways of the land on a never-ending mission to right wrongs, to develop understanding, and to seek justice for all. In time of dire need, young Billy has been granted the power by the immortals to summon awesome forces at the utterance of a single word. Shazam!
It's the comic book bullies.
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
It's the comic book bullies.
You will run out before me!
It's the comic book bullies.
Now I am the master.
It's the comic book bullies. It's the comic book bullies.
Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies with Nerd is a New Bully. I'm your host, Leroy, with my co-host.
This is Eli.
Yep, and we're back with another episode. And yeah, we are 2 weeks away from Infinity War? 1 week? 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's counting down.
It's counting down. We're going to talk about Infinity War in a second, but we're going to go through that. Right now, Eli, you just want to know what I've been up to? Remember, I have the DC Universe app, right?
Yeah.
And you know what I've been doing with DC Universe app so far?
Watching Batman.
That and and actually reading comics.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Most people forget they have comics on there. Like, well, they don't have enough Batman movies under me. Well, like they have comics on there, man. And actually, their comic library is actually pretty extensive now.
Okay.
Like it's in the tens of thousands now. For instance, I read the complete first run of Teen Titans.
No shit.
Yeah, I think it was like 58 issues or something like that.
Damn.
Yeah. So that's the first volume. Then immediately they stopped that volume and started another volume immediately.
Oh, yeah?
So I'm on the second volume now. So the first volume started in 1980. This volume starts in 1984, and it's like right before Crisis comes around.
Okay.
Yeah, because Crisis, fucks up everything. So they changed everything from there. But so far, yeah, pretty good run. I see why it was popular at the time when they did it. It's got some story. Some stories do feel kind of derivative because I guess at that time, when the evil teammate goes evil and destroys everything, I guess every team around the time was doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was just a thing. That's all I got from that. Yeah, I guess we can move on to the box office.
Sure.
Let's just jump right into it. Let's see what we got. Yeah, like I said, Eli, just give it to me. You already know what the number one movie of the week is.
Is it Shazam?
It is Shazam.
Pile. Shazam.
Shout out to the Gomer Pyle fans. My dad made me watch that show for some reason. I don't know why. Surprise.
And I just, every time I think of that, every time I hear it, I think of that Simpson episode where that's all Homer's thinking about. Pile. Shazam.
I don't know why he kept saying it on this show so much, but yeah. Yeah, okay, so like I'm gonna just run down the list. Hell, give me number 2, Eli, because I know you know what it is also.
Is it Pet Sematary?
It is Pet Sematary.
Yeah, okay. Well, I saw it.
Okay, so you saw 2 movies this week, so we're gonna do a movie review. We're gonna do like a Siskel Niebuhr type thing. So number 3 we have Dumbo. Number 4 we still have Us hanging in there. Number 5, Captain Marvel. I'm so glad Shazam is out because I'm sorry, I'm old school. So when I hear Captain Marvel, I'm still thinking about Captain Marvel. But now there's Captain Marvel out. Now we got actual Captain Marvel and Shazam. So
there's 2 Captain Marvels at the theater.
There's 2 Captain Marvels out. We're going to talk about this second, but I'm just glad both of them out because this shit is confusing for me, man. Number 6, we have The Best of Enemies. The fuck? I don't know.
Oh, is that's the other the white guy and the black lady become friends.
Another one of those.
Another Racism is Wrong movie.
Racism is over. Yay! Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. What do we got? 5 Feet Apart. Number 7. Number 8, Unplanned. Number 9, Wonder Park. And number 10, How to Train Your Dragon 2, The Hidden World. What? Not 2. 3? 4?
3.
5?
There's 3.
It's 3? The Hidden World. Okay. So they keep cranking these movies out. I don't know. Anyway. But yeah, let's go back to Shazam. Let's see what kind of, before we get to Shazam, let's go to Pet Sematary. We're going to let you get a chance to talk about both of them, Eli, but let me see. Worldwide, Pet Sematary is at 42 million. Of course, it's an estimate because we haven't got the official numbers yet. But where does Shazam rank? Where does the OG Captain Marvel rank? Right now, they had a domestic weekend of 56, which is pretty cool because they actually estimated to be 40 million. So it exceeded expectations to 56.
Mm-hmm.
Keep in mind, nothing like the other Captain Marvel, because I think that movie did, what, 100 million?
Oh, the first weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah, all that boycotting, yeah. It still
Yeah, how did boycott work out for you? But now you have the real Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm. A dude, the dude Captain Marvel.
And they didn't even go see it. It's like you bitch all the time about it, and they give you a movie of what you're looking for, you don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. They gave you your white savior. It's going to keep cranking out transgender, gay, black, Mexican superheroes now. So be happy with that. Overall, it did worldwide 158 million. Respectable. The thing is, what I'm hearing is that they dialed back the budget on Shazam, so it doesn't have to do Justice. Like if it does Justice League budget gross, it'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
It had no problem with that, which I see a lot of what they're doing with these superhero movies now. They're starting to crank back the budget because people are going to see them anyway.
Yeah.
You don't have to have, every movie doesn't have to have that Justice League budget or, things like that. You can have a Venom, you can have a Shazam, you can have a Joker, which we're going to talk about later on also.
Mm-hmm.
And what's going to make money from that one. But, Eli, now I'm going to put it in your hands. Where do you want to start first? You want to start Pet Sematary? You want to start Shazam? Because you saw both.
Well, you haven't seen Pet Sematary, right?
I have never seen a Pet Sematary movie at all.
Oh yeah, so I guess I can do that real quick, and then
knock it out. I'm all in. Sell me on or not. I don't know your review, so whichever way you decide to go with.
Oh, I ain't selling you shit. Now, I love Pet Sematary. I read the book. One of the few books that scared the shit out of me when I read it. And I wasn't a little kid when I read this book. I was like I was like 14 or 15, and it scared me. So I wasn't even a little kid, and this book scared the shit out of me. Even the old movie, the original movie that came out in like '89, was really creepy, and a very, very close adaptation of the book. So I loved the book and the original movie. So I was really excited to see this new one, especially after It. They had It, and it was awesome, and it made this huge success. They're like, oh shit, let's start making cool Stephen King movies.
It's the highest grossing horror movie of all time, I think.
Yeah, and like, we're gonna start making some cool Stephen King movies now, and here comes Pet Sematary. I'm like, sweet, one of my favorite books, one of my favorite movies from Stephen King. I'm ready to watch this motherfucker, and it came out this weekend, and I did not like it.
Wow. But honestly, I had a real strong feeling it might have beaten Shazam because there was a lot of people I know that were excited for Pet Sematary.
Yeah, I was wondering too. I was like, I wonder if it's because horror always sells. Like horror just has an audience, regardless. So I was thinking, and it's Stephen King, and like I said, it was a big success. So I'm thinking, hey, this might be number one. It might actually beat the comic book movie, but no. But yeah, it was just really disappointing, this movie. They didn't stick. They changed a lot of stuff, which I guess I'm fine with. But if you're going to do that, then make it cool. And it just was not cool. Like, the changes they made didn't really offer anything new to the story. And the stuff that they did add new really didn't fit into the movie. Like, it was really dumb. Like, there's a lot of really dumb shit in the movie. Now, the thing about Pet Sematary, the premise of it is there's this, evil Indian burial ground in the woods. So we got that trope, the evil Indian burial ground trope. You bury something there that dies, it comes back to life, only it's not the same anymore. It's kind of a evil version of itself. So that's basically what the
I remember the
premise.
Justice League joke.
Yes, that's right. Pet Sematary, when they dig up Superman, and they were making like, oh shit, what if he comes back all Pet Sematary, all fucked up and evil? And that's what happens. So this guy, you know, one of his kids dies, and he ends up burying his kid in this shitty fucking Indian burial ground. And the kid comes back to life, all fucked up. Now, in the original book and the original movie, it was the baby. He was like a little 2-year-old boy. So it was like a creepy, you know, Chucky factor, child's play factor, a little baby running around with a knife killing people. You know, well, they didn't do that in this one. Maybe, I don't know if they're too sensitive or whatever. We can't kill babies anymore. So it's 2019. You know, people are woke. You can't do that anymore. So they decide to kill the little girl instead, the older little girl who's like 10 years old. She comes back and she can talk and she can carry on a conversation and shit. And of course, she's all zombie, like all dead looking like a vampire, but she's just, you know, still talking and shit, still intelligent, still, you know, able to, you know, carry on a conversation and have a little bit of wit to her. Mm-hmm. I'm like, well, what, can't you just like give her a cookie? Hey, don't kill people. Here's a cookie. You know, like, why is she evil if she's like, I don't know. It's just that, and then all this other stuff that, you know, some of the stuff that was really creepy, like in the old movie and in the book, they kind of changed and it wasn't as creepy. And basically towards the end, I was just like, I just ain't feeling it. So I was really disappointed in the movie. Yeah.
Before you get ready, I got a question.
Yeah.
What was more accurate, the first movie in the 80s or this movie? I mean, to the book.
Yeah, the first movie is actually really closely adapted to the book. They change a few things, you know, they leave a few things out, but it's a really close adaptation, the first movie. And of course, it came out in the 80s and had the, you know, horror had a low budget back then. And, you know, the performances probably don't hold up as well. And there's not a lot of, you know, high caliber actors or movie stars in the old movie like they did in this one. They had the guy, the one guy who's been in a bunch of movies. I can't think of his name now. But you know, it had John Lithgow and, you know, it had some really good actors and the performances were fine. It's just, it just all came down to this version of the story. And they just added a bunch of crap that was just unnecessary. And what they did add was just kind of dumb. Like the whole Zelda thing. Now, in the old book, there's the mom, when she was a child, her sister had spinal meningitis. And this is the most fucking creepiest thing about that story. As her sister, she was all fucked up looking, and she couldn't leave her bed, and it's really fucked up scene. But then they changed it to where she, like, was able to move and get out of the bed and somehow fell down a dumbwaiter chute. And I'm like, how the fuck did that happen? Like, she can't get out of bed. How the fuck is she going to fall down the dumb? I was just like, man, this is dumb. And it wasn't even that scary. Like, you know, you could tell that something was going to jump, you know, because I'm jaded. Nothing makes me jump, barely. So I knew she was going to open up the door and the thing was going to fall. And, you know, I saw that coming, and that wasn't even cool. Like, how the fuck this crippled, fucked up chick with a fucked up back was able to crawl out of the bed and down a garbage chute? Like, I don't know. I'm just kind of ranting now. But either way, I was just like, man, I was just disappointed.
Maybe your expectations were too high for this movie. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I was. I think that's what it was. Because I love because of the book. And I love the old movie, and like I said, I was expecting.
And then, like I said, it was this huge, you know, box office success.
Yeah, so I was just hoping to be wowed, and I really was not.
So, I don't know. All right, so go ahead, give me a score.
2 out of 5. Fuck.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you definitely didn't sell me on that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say. Well, I know you're not going to read the book. I'd say check out the old one, you know.
The old movie? Okay. I've never seen that. I mean, like I said, when I grew up, I wasn't allowed to watch horror movies, so a lot of them I didn't see.
Yeah.
You know, so I didn't see Pet Sematary or anything like that. So, I don't know, one day I'll get around to it and see it, or I'll check see if it's on Netflix or Amazon Prime or something.
Yeah, that's what I suggest. I think it is on Amazon Prime. It might even been on Netflix, the original. So if you want to do a commentary,
Have we ever done a horror commentary? Now I think about it.
Tales from the Hood, right? We did Tales from the Hood.
Yes, yeah, Tales from the Hood. 1 and 2.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I forgot we did that.
Yeah. So,
And so have our
yeah.
listeners. Yeah, but hey, if it's on it, yeah, we can do it. We still
Yeah.
gotta do Street Fighter.
Oh, yeah.
That's on the list, so we'll get to it eventually. Yeah, but like I said, that's Pet Sematary, pretty cool. I guess we can actually go to a movie that we both seen now. We could like do our real Siskel and Ebert impression.
Yeah.
You know, okay. So like I said, we got a chance to see Shazam.
Mm-hmm.
You know, before we get into Shazam, and I should have did this earlier. Well, fuck with too late to go by now. Like I said, we're doing Shazam. For those who don't know, this is the real Captain Marvel, and I'm pretty sure everybody knows the story now because Shazam was originally Captain Marvel. They got into some legal troubles with both DC and Marvel, but here we are now in 2019 where Shazam is called Shazam, not allowed to be legally called Captain Marvel. Meanwhile, Captain Marvel is Captain Marvel, and yeah, that's what we have now. So Eli, I gonna go first. You're gonna go first. How we gonna do this?
You can go first.
I can go first. Yeah, you went first. Yeah, I can go first. Okay, so what are we gonna talk about, Captain Shazam? So, like I said, we're gonna talk about Shazam. And one thing about this movie, like as far as a DC movie, like we know DCE movies get shitted on a bunch of times. However, this movie, before we get started, I want to say that it has a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I know we don't give a shit about Rotten Tomatoes. It's like, well, Rotten Tomatoes to pay for it. But here's the interesting thing on Rotten Tomatoes that I've never seen before for a DCU movie at that. The audience score is at 90%.
Yeah.
So that is kind of alarming right there. Like, you never see that happen before. So, I mean, you got people saying, oh, it's one of the best superhero movies of all time, best DCU movie of all time, breath of fresh air. What do I think about the movie? I want to put it plainly out there for people that haven't seen the movie, because like I said, for 50 million, that's kind of low for a superhero movie. So for people that haven't seen the movie, and I've been talking to a lot of people, the reason they don't want to see the movie because they think it's a kid's movie. And I'm here to let you know you're correct. It's a kid's movie. Mm-hmm. So if you're expecting to see, you know, this or that, or basically what you saw from the trailer is pretty much what you expect tone-wise from this movie. Then, and a lot of people saying, oh, they're taking a playbook from Marvel's playbook, or they're trying to make a Marvel movie. This isn't a Marvel movie. Like, they're not ripping off Marvel. What they're doing is taking homages to, like, those old 80s Steven Spielberg movies. Like The Goonies, Monster Squad, you know, big movies like that. That's the tone they're going for. Because for the most part, yes, those movies back then, they were kids' movies. But if you really watch those movies, they really kind of weren't kids' movies. Like movies kids probably shouldn't have been watching.
Yeah.
You know, because the kids were always cursing all the time, saying really crude stuff, like the same stuff they're doing in this movie. And like there's one scene that everybody keeps talking about, like you could take your kids to go see this movie, but it's just one scene that's like super fucked up and right out of a horror movie that Capra will probably scare kids. And then I started thinking about it, is there really anything worse than what we saw when we were kids?
No. I saw Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom when I was a kid.
Oh my god. That
movie out hearts and shit.
Eli, that movie fucked me. Remember, I wasn't allowed to watch horror movies, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I wasn't allowed to watch horror movies, but Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom, I think that movie was rated PG or something.
Yeah.
Like, not even PG-13, just PG. So I'm seeing the movie, watching the dude get his heart ripped out. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching?
Yeah, eating bugs. I remember the bugs eating, when they were eating the bugs. That grossed me out.
Right. So, yeah, you can. I agree with you that Temple of Doom had way more fucked up shit than anything in Shazam.
Yeah.
You know, that's when I'm like, man, your parents are soft nowadays.
Yeah. Gremlins, they're throwing the motherfuckers in the microwave and shit.
Gremlins was fucked up, too.
Yeah.
Like, even Star Wars, the dude got his hand cut off by his own father.
Yeah.
So we had fucked up shit we saw, even though they were all kids' movies, it was fucked up shit in those movies. The same way with Shazam. It is a kids' movie that has fucked up shit in it. Like I said, I won't say what it is, so I will say this with Shazam. This is not a movie for like 5-year-olds or 6-year-olds or anything like that. I say if you're about 9 or 10 is probably the age you need to be to go watch this movie. I mean, 10 and up.
Yeah.
Like I said, it does remind me of one of those early Amblin Entertainment, Steven Spielberg kids movies that were kind of fucked up in the same way also. That's how I feel about that. Now, like I said, the tone they're trying to hit, it hits. And people are saying that, oh, DC is going lighter. DC has finally turned the corner with like, let's be honest, this is Shazam. Like, I know a lot of people aren't familiar with this character, but the way they made this movie is pretty much the only way you can make a Shazam movie.
Uh-huh.
Like, it was designed that way. It's a movie about a 15-year-old or basically a kid that gets the power of Superman.
Yeah.
It's the epitome of wish fulfillment. It is the personification of power fantasy.
Yeah.
So that is what the movie is supposed to be. It is targeted to kids. It's targeted for kids, and that's the type the movie is supposed to be. It's the reason why Captain Marvel outsold Superman back in the 40s.
Okay.
And why DC had to kill him. Because he was cutting into their profits. So that's why they just buried him for this time, and all of a sudden now he's popping back up. So yes, it is kiddie. It is childish. It is goofy. It is cheesy. But that's the essence of the character. That's how he's supposed to be. This ain't no Snyder shit. And it's just funny that this is technically the first movie Zack Snyder didn't have a hand in.
Yeah,
Like,
I guess, yeah.
Aquaman still had some Snyder references in there because, like I said, he casted Zack Snyder, and it's based off his thing. And Wonder Woman also like, but this is the first post Snyder DC movie.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you can tell.
You can tell, yeah.
You can tell, right? So, like I said, overall with the movie, I like what they did. The movie had personality to it. The movie was charming. The movie had some fucked up scenes, but it had some kiddie scenes also. Like I said, Zachary Levi, when I knew they casted him, I knew he was going to kill it. He killed it. I mean, because the thing is, like I said, if you read the comics, Shazam and Superman kind of look alike, and you're kind of hard to tell them apart when they're on screen together. You can tell the difference between Zachary Levi and Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Like two completely different guys. So they make them seem like different. Like you believe that Zachary Levi is a 15-year-old in a grown man's body. Hell, he probably is with the way he acts and like casting a choice stuff like that. Freddie Freeman, I can't remember the actor's name, killed it. What was he in? Was he in It?
One of the kids was in it. Yeah, the kid with the crutches was in it.
Yeah, that's what I keep telling him. So Freddie Freeman was one kid. He killed in this role. And Freddie Freeman himself was wish fulfillment. Because, okay, yes, Shazam got all these powers and shit like that, but at the same time, like, listen, what if your best friend has superpowers and don't know what the fuck to do with them? So it's up to you to train him, to be his mentor. That's wish fulfillment. Like, he wasn't even a sidekick. He was more like his Obi-Wan. He was telling him, this is what you need to do. This is the power. Like, all your fanboy knowledge and comic book knowledge all of a sudden is useful. You know, so that's pretty awesome right there. All the kids were awesome, too. I love Darla. Darla was my favorite.
The little girl?
The little girl, yeah, she was my favorite. And everybody else was pretty cool, too. The Asian kid, the gamer, I kind of relate to him also just because. Because he's a gamer, you know. The parents weren't fucked up. You know, they weren't like running, you know, slave labor outside of the, you know, group home, stuff like that. They were cool, chill. Even though when the boy ran away, you know, they invited him back, stuff like that. You know.
Yeah.
And was it me or was the mom a fucking MILF? It was like it was distracting. It was like.
Yeah, she was doable. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just me. So yeah, it was a lot of stuff going on. Mark Strong, I thought, honestly, people said they thought Mark Strong was like one of the weakest parts of the movie. I thought it was pretty cool. He was pretty awesome.
Which one was he?
Dr. Savannah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was a serviceable villain. He pretty much does Mark Strong shit like he always does in these movies, but I thought he was menacing as Dr. Savannah.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, you know. I'm kind of glad they didn't have The Rock as Black Adam because I do feel like they kind of combined Dr. Savannah with Black Adam because he pretty much almost had the same arc as Black Adam. But having The Rock in this movie would have overshadowed everything.
Yeah.
It would have completely threw out the tone where this is a hero's journey for Shazam, you know, not for everybody else.
Yeah.
And I do agree that, well, I won't say agree, but I do kind of funny that he didn't have a name in the movie. Like I said, Captain Marvel, Brie Larson, Carol Danvers took his name. So now he's going throughout the movie like with no name. Like, what are you going to call yourself? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maximum Voltage?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Was it Captain Thundercrack or whatever?
Right. So he kept saying shit. And it was funny the whole time you do it. Like, okay, you don't have a name, so just run with it, you know, play it up as a gag, you know.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like this movie, like it was a comedy first. Like they tried to make a comedy,
Yeah.
you know. But then, like the more the movie went on and the stakes got higher, they were like, okay, stop all the laughing, stop all the comedy and shit like that. You know, shit is real. Dr. Savannah's not fucking playing around with you. And then the movie got more serious as it went along. And my thing is, what I about the DCEU movies, a lot of times they have a problem with the third act. The third act in this, to me, sold the movie for me. It like took it up another notch. I was like, oh damn, they really went there.
Yeah.
You know, I won't even spoil it for you, but I thought the third act was the best part of it. It really went there. Still has some comedy in there. I was like, oh shit, can I spoil it? I'm not gonna spoil it.
Go ahead.
Fuck it. The Marvel family is in there.
The Marvel family.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Legally, we can't call them that. But when all the kids get their powers and shit.
Oh yeah. That's
it's the Marvel family. So you got Mary Marvel and whatever and stuff like that. And they got all the powers.
Oh, is that from the comics?
Oh yeah, that's straight from the comics.
Oh yeah,
That's another thing about this. This movie is actually very faithful to the comics. Like it's a bunch of scenes ripped straight from the comics. So
Okay.
that's how you know Jeff Johns had a very strong hand in this when they were making this movie. Matter of fact, they probably should have just add him as a screenwriter. As much stuff they took from those books.
Oh, he wasn't a screenwriter?
No, they just said, special thanks to Jeff Johns, but they didn't add him as a
Oh,
screenwriter,
okay.
I don't think. But they should have because there's a lot of stuff they took right from him. Like dialogue, everything. So, some guy named Henry Gayton. The fuck are you, man? You ain't no Jeff Johns. And that's the thing. Like Jeff Johns has a Shazam book going on right now, and I guarantee you, the book that he's writing right now, that's the sequel. So anybody listening, if you want to know what the sequel to Shazam is going to be, go read the Shazam book that's going on right now, because that's what's going to happen. But overall, yeah, like I said, I had a fun time watching the movie. It kept me engaged the whole time. It had some fucked up horror scenes. That the scene where he met his mom, that shit was kind of heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't think the movie was gonna go there for this type of movie, but yeah, they were like, nah, fuck it, she don't want your ass. I'm like,
Yeah,
damn.
that was probably one of the for a little kid, that would probably do some emotional damage.
Right. That's all. Like, wow, they really went there. Like, okay, it ain't like she wanted him back and couldn't find her. Like, nah, I saw the kid. I left your ass on purpose. Like, so that. So I like that the movie did have those things in it. So you could say the movie had like a tonal shift plenty of times in the movie. I could deal with it. That's probably one of the biggest flaws of the movie. The suit still looked kind of puffy at certain points, but for the tone this movie's going, I could deal with it. The movie didn't feel like it was taking itself super seriously anyway. A bunch of times the movie did feel like it was being self-referential. It did almost feel like it was breaking the fourth wall sometimes, like being Deadpool-ish. But it didn't feel like it was breaking the fourth wall, but it did feel like a couple times Zachary Levi was winking at the camera. Like, come on. This shit is stupid.
Well, there was a lot of like meta references to other superheroes, and the fact that this does take place in the DC universe, and there was Batman and Superman, and they do exist.
Universe,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Which I thought that was pretty cool. Also, that they didn't shoehorn like 4 or 5 upcoming movies from it, but that they exist in this world. So they live in a world where these heroes are here, and I thought that's pretty awesome. Just the way they worked it in, but it didn't feel like it was shoehorned.
Yeah.
So overall, yeah, for the movie, I give it, like I said, a 4 out of 5. Now, usually how I rate my movies, that I feel like I give it a 4 at least if it's a movie I would like to see again. Like Captain Marvel, I don't give a fuck about watching the movie again. But Shazam, I wouldn't mind watching again. I'm not going to run out and be the first thing I want to see, but if it's on, I wouldn't mind going out like, yeah, I'll watch it again. So, like I said, it was a fun, cheesy, quaint movie, but for what they were trying to do with this character, they did as good a job as you can possibly do with this character.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my thing. But yeah, I think I ran on long enough. Anything you want to add in it, Eli?
I mean, I pretty much agree with you. I had a lot of fun with it. I didn't expect shit from this movie. I'm not really familiar with the Shazam comics. I mean, I do remember that old ass TV show from the 70s. Like, that's how old I am. I do remember watching it. I remember Shazam being in the cartoon. I remember him in the Teen Titans and shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I really, but other than that, I'm not really familiar with it. So I wasn't, you know, I didn't have much expectations. So going in, I was just like, yeah, whatever. It's a superhero movie. You know, I expected it to be a kid's movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it looked cheesy, and I expected that. But when I went in, I surprisingly enjoyed it way more than I thought I would. I was laughing.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny. There was some fucked up shit that might be a little too, you know, intense for younger kids. But me as an adult, me as a horror fan, I'm like, holy shit, that's cool. Those monsters were fucking cool. I'm like, holy shit, I didn't know that.
Right, and apparently that guy has a horror background.
Yeah, and I'm like, is that from the comics? Because I might read it, because that shit's cool. You know?
I don't know if it is, but it made me want to read it too.
Yeah, I was like, damn, that's just like these monsters running around, come out of that dude's body and ripping people. Like, at one point, I thought there was going to be blood. Like, when they're in the office and they're getting killed and the guy's, like, looking out the window and, you know, that like, white pane glass. You could just tell shit was going on, but you couldn't see it. I was like almost expecting like a blood splat, like to go.
Yeah, honestly, when he threw his brother out the window, the whole theater was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and I was like, oh shit, they're not gonna have blood because this is a kids movie. But I almost thought that. I was like, holy shit, this is fucking pretty brutal for a kids movie. So yeah, it was a kids movie, but it was entertaining for adults, and that's what I enjoyed because I found myself laughing. I found myself generally laughing. Like laughing a lot. And I just didn't expect that from this. It was just a lot of fun.
Yeah, and the funny thing about it, I didn't mean to cut you off, but the funny thing about it, like him as a kid, it's funny because he did everything. Like if you were 14 and you got Superman powers, or you became a grown up, he did everything that you would do. Like you go buy beer.
Yeah.
You go to the strip club. You know, you use it to make money, so it just made sense. You know,
that was funny too. Like when they were stuck in that realm or whatever.
Right.
And he says, "Okay, think of a place to get us out of here." And they go to the strip club.
Right. And then Mary's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you, Billy?" I mean, he's 14. What you expect?
It's like, just think on the place really hard you want to be. And that was the place he thought of with the strip. I just busted out laughing. All of them went there. All the kids came.
Right.
Strip club.
Did you catch it when Pedro said, "Didn't do anything for me"?
Oh, I don't know. Pedro.
Yeah. He said it's all basically they're throwing it in there. He might be gay. You know.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, even though it was a lot of fun, it still had a lot of heart to it. Like there was a lot of like emotional beats that really made you care about the character, really made you care about the kids, really made you care about Billy. You know, the fact that he was an orphan and that his whole journey, and him getting lost at the fucking carnival and never finding his mom again, that's fucked up.
Right, which is why he doesn't care about anybody, because the only person he cared about never cared about him.
And just think of the trauma that caused him. That would cause any kid, you know. That's some fucked up shit. So the fact that they used that and they did it that well and had that thread throughout the movie, and then when he finally sees his mom at the end, like, holy fuck. You know, this is some harsh shit to deal with. And then he finally says, I have a family. That's when he comes around. So I enjoyed that character arc. You know, it really, the movie really made you care about, you know, the characters, all of them. I mean, even the kid on the crutches, you know, how he was a big nerd. He was into superheroes and he was, you know, saying weird shit, you know. He was just he just embodied the outcast. You know, that outcast, that nerd who doesn't have any friends, you know, and all that shit.
He collects stuff. He collects newspaper clippings.
And then that whole thing of where they're trying to, you know, hey, you got superpowers. And it's shit we've seen before. We've seen it in the old Spider-Man movies. We've seen it on Heroes. And we've seen it. It's just a trope, but they did it in a way where it was still fresh.
Right.
You know?
I mean, because Freddy's looking at him like, you got all these powers, you're not doing shit, but look at me. You know, you could say I'm jealous, but at the same time, if I had your powers, I'd do something better than what you're doing with it.
Yeah, and just flipping the superhero motif on its head as far as like, oh, you need a superhero name. And they're just going,
Right.
You know, going through all these different names with the Captain Lightning Fingers or Crackle Fingers or whatever, you know, and then filming, crossing off, trying to find out all of his superpowers and
Right, and
crossing off
uploading
the
on
list.
YouTube and stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah. You know, it was refreshing. You know, even even though it was lighthearted, you know, it still had a lot of like emotional weight to keep it grounded to where you give a shit, you know,
Right.
about the characters and stuff. And I like the fact that it was fun, you know.
Mhm.
I like the fact that it was like the anti-Superman. Like, because when he started flying and shit and doing actual Superman shit, it's like, why wasn't this in the Man of Steel?
Right, like he should have been happy doing this shit. Nah, he's depressed even flying.
Yeah, and that's what made me think of, like, you know, when the kid is like, you got all these cool powers, I would kill to have those powers. You know, like, you're awesome. You should be out doing awesome shit. And that was like my same reaction to watching the Man of Steel. Like, dude, what are you bitching about?
Right.
It's like, don't sit there and give me a movie about how hard it is to be Superman. Like, fuck you. You're
Right.
Superman, motherfucker. You're awesome. Quit bitching.
Right.
You know?
And that's another thing. It was a criticism about this movie that they were saying like the boy and Shazam acted too different apart. They said they couldn't believe they're the same person. They were supposed to act differently apart. The boy is supposed to be depressed, supposed to be on his own by himself because he hates everybody. But of course, when he gets the powers of Superman, of course he's gonna be, you know, upbeat and uplifting and, you know, jokey and stuff like that because he has the powers of Superman.
Yeah.
So why would he be depressed?
Yeah, and he's going to the strip club, and, you know, and Zachary Levi was great as like that Tom Hanks big character,
Right.
you know, or what's that other movie with Judge Reinhold and little Freddie Savage, and vice versa. It was back in the 80s. There was a bunch of those
Yeah,
body
there was a bunch
swapping.
of, like, George Burns had a movie with somebody.
Yeah, the body swapping, you know, and yeah. But Zachary Levi played a convincing 14-year-old or whatever. You know?
Right. Like when Dr. Banner was showing up, like he looked like he was actually scared of him. But whenever he got powers, he was happy. Look at me, I can fly. You know, all this shit like that. So it was cool.
Or when they're ditching school.
Right.
That shit was funny. Like I was generally laughing at a lot of shit. You know. You know. And it's funny. Like I remember the Shazam on one of the Teen Titans episodes. Now I don't watch a lot of Teen Titans. My kid was watching them for a while. But I remember when Shazam showed up because I was, hey, Shazam! I remember this motherfucker from when I was a kid.
Right.
And he was talking about. I remember him saying something like, you know, it's a good thing because I remember like Robin and everybody were making fun of him. You know.
Right.
And they're like, it's fun. It's cool that you make fun of me because if you take me too seriously, then then superheroes are gonna get all dark and brooding and blah blah blah. And I remember just hearing that it was taking a dig at probably, you know, the Snyderverse. You know?
Right. And that's always how it is. Like he's supposed to be like more upbeat, more of a Boy Scout than even Superman is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's the thing about Shazam. So yeah. Can you give me a score on it?
Yeah, I give it a 4 out of 5.
Okay.
You know? I thought
about
it was
the same.
funny.
About the same. Like I said,
I wouldn't mind seeing it again. Yeah.
Movie. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's the greatest movie ever made or greatest superhero movie ever made. Just a fun, good movie. So, like I said, we got with DCU now. We got Aquaman, which was a hit. You got Shazam, which was a hit. So yeah, I feel like they're on the upswing.
Yeah.
You know, they're starting to figure this thing out.
And I was surprising that I knew who that worm was. Well, I had to Google his name, but I remember the worm.
Yeah, you knew the worm was. I had no the fuck idea what that worm was.
Like I totally forgot
him
about
also
him.
when I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I totally forgot about him until I saw him, the end.
And plus, like they showed the worm at the beginning also of the movie.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, when Savannah was a boy and he came in there, the worm was in the jar in the Rock of Eternity.
I think I missed that part.
And then when Shazam came back, or when something came back, like when the Day of the Seven Sins broke out, they showed the jar again. The jar was broken.
Okay, I think I missed that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was in the end. The worm showed up at the end also.
Yeah.
But like I said, the worm. You told me who the worm was.
Yeah, I was like, because it's happened, and I was like, oh shit, that's right, the fucking little caterpillar motherfucker. I was like, I remember that. And like, I can't exactly remember where, but I remember Shazam fighting a little worm.
Right. And the thing in the book that Jeff Johns writing right now, that worm is like the big bad in the book right now. So that should tell you where direction he's going with.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, the worm. And then I had to Google his name. Oh yeah, Mr. Mind, and like, oh shit, yeah. Maybe I do know a little bit more about Shazam than I thought.
Yeah.
You know?
So apparently he has this weird power that since he's a worm, he can crawl into your ear and control you.
Okay, that's fucked up.
Yeah, it's like Wrath of Khan.
Yeah,
It's basically like that. So
yeah,
that's fucked up power to have. So it's pretty cool. And plus he knows all about magic stuff like that. So he got like this. He leads this whole magic group and shit like that. So that's the thing about Shazam. That's why I say it's not really a Marvel movie because Marvel is scared to go full like kiddie and childish. They're scared to go. Even Guardians of the Galaxy is scared to go that route. They just like this is magic. This is fantasy. They went balls deep in this shit. Yeah. And it seemed like if they have a sequel, they're gonna go even further into it. Like they're just whetting your appetite right now. They're really gonna go into this shit next round.
Yeah.
So
it was fun.
Yeah. So, like I said, we talked about Aquaman. We talked about Shazam. Can we talk about the next DCEU movie or DC movie on the list?
Sure.
That's up. All right. Then we were all upbeat and happy. Now let's talk about Joker. Put on a happy face.
Yeah, back to the old dark and brooding shit.
Right. We thought we were out. They pull us back in.
Yeah.
All right, Eli, I'm gonna just go first. I'm just okay. So I saw the trailer. I rewatched it before we recorded this, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't give two shits about this movie.
Damn, you're even harder than I am.
Not even a little bit. Like, why is this a thing?
I thought I was being mean just for thinking. I don't think it looks that good.
It doesn't. It just looks like an average Joker movie. Joaquin Phoenix is trying to collect a paycheck. It's gonna come and go. Like, why is this even here? But I feel like we're weird because the rest of the internet is going crazy over this trailer.
I know.
Like, did y'all see the same thing we're saying? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought I was being mean.
It feels like
man.
they made Gotham into a a TV show into a movie. That's what it feels like.
That's what I'm saying. It's like a long drawn out episode of Gotham, and I'm like, right. I've already seen Gotham where it's like, yeah, it's the shit I want to see, but they're not going to show me, Right. And
I don't know. I'm trying to feel like where angle are they trying to go with this? Because is Martin Scorsese still involved with this in any fashion?
No,
okay.
He's not.
So he's done with this. Okay. Because it feels like they're paying homage to his movies.
Yeah, like Taxi Driver and King of Comedy
movie.
Yeah, King of Comedy. Yeah, it does look like that. I mean, it's got De Niro in it, and he was in King of Comedy and Taxi Driver.
Right.
But
so it feels like they're just taking those same movies, just sticking the Joker in it.
Yeah, I don't know. I see people saying all these theories. Oh, it's gonna looks amazing. Maybe at the end the whole movie's gonna be a lie, and he's gonna be on the couch talking to Harley, or maybe it's gonna be like Kaiser Soze from The Usual Suspects. I'm like, okay, you're basically projecting all this cool shit onto this movie that didn't show any of that. Like,
right, not gonna happen, and then when it doesn't happen, you're gonna be pissed.
Yeah, and that's my thing is like, I was open to the idea of just having like this, fucked up gangster version of the Joker. I was open to it. And but after watching the trailer, I'm like, okay, you're not really showing me anything about, that makes me recognize the Joker other than a guy in a clown makeup. Bad clown makeup.
Right.
And other than that, it's just really, there's nothing there that interests me. You're not showing me anything from the comics, really. You're not showing me any monumental, like, recognizable thing from that makes me say, oh, that's the Joker. Other than the guy just kind of some poor moron becoming unhinged. You know what I mean?
Basically falling down.
Yeah.
Joker mix or whatever.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know if I need to see that. I don't know if I need to see the origin of what is supposed to be one of the greatest villains of all time. You know?
Because there never was an origin, and it was for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
They're not following that.
Yeah, and it's like, what is the reason that you're going to give me? Because it's probably not going to be cool. You know what I mean? Like, why is this guy? What makes this guy? become the greatest villain of all time. You know,
Right.
because he didn't become a comedian, because he had, you know, whatever, he was just down on his luck, and you know, it's like that. Really, he was that much of a pussy? That's what turned him into the insane clown guy. You know, I don't.
You gotta give me something better than that.
Yeah, I mean that was my thing with Rob Zombie's Halloween. You know, when they tried to give Michael Myers an origin story, like this big
Right.
evil entity is the reason why he becomes this big evil entity is because his mom was a stripper and his dad was a dick. Like, really? That
Right.
That's it? That's really? Well, then anybody can become a big evil entity then. You know?
Right.
Like,
Just-
you're not
just
giving me
right.
any cool reason for this guy to become the clown prince of crime. You know what I mean?
Right. Here's the thing, Eli. This is the only thing I can come up to why this movie exists. This movie exists because it's safe. It doesn't
Yeah.
seem like it's safe, but it's safe. First off, it's cheap.
Yeah.
Second off, it's got the Joker in it. People are gonna see it no matter what. They went and saw Suicide Squad, and he wasn't even in it that much.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think that's what they got it from. They made a Suicide Squad movie where they peppered Joker throughout the movie. People start, you know, suing them because the Joker went in. So like, well, just give them a Joker. Obviously, if that's what you want, just get Joker. So they got a Joker movie, super cheap, director nobody's ever heard of. Whatever budget you got, just throw it to Joaquin Phoenix, and it's gonna make money.
I'm sure it will, just on the title alone. And
On
that's
the
the
title?
thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Take away the title of the movie. Just pretend this isn't called The Joker. Watch the trailer again. Do you give a fuck?
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah. I mean,
And that's the thing. This movie is this year's Venom.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like, take away the Joker title, it looks like one of those Spike Jonze or Wes Anderson movie about that, you know, that down on his luck loser trying to find a purpose in his life.
Right. The movie
You know?
that nobody watches.
Yeah, you know what I mean? A hipster movie, one of those hipster dramas that they pretend they like, you know?
Right. So,
Yeah,
like
so-
I said, it's nothing's selling me on this movie. And yes, it's got Joker in it, so you just slap Joker on it. You're gonna make a movie. People are happy. I'm happy that people are happy. I'm not trying to shit on anybody's,
Yeah.
you know, happiness.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I'm not excited for it.
Yeah,
but I'm
it's
not
not-
gonna go on every post. Where do you like that? Where do you like this movie? This movie sucks. Look at this movie. No, if you like it, you like it. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying not to like it. I mean, I'm a Batman fan. Of course I want to see a Joker movie.
Right. You're a Batman fan.
But not this one. I mean, I want to see him fucking gas people with Smilex and fucking,
Right.
You know, I want to see all that goofy ass shit. And you know, I'm not interested in seeing, you know, the Joker year one, you know,
Right.
or year zero where he's not the
I
Joker.
feel like it's that one step forward, two steps back. It's DC being DC again.
Yeah, it's like,
Like you had a good run.
yeah, it's about making a movie about a Friday the 13th movie about Jason where he was in fucking finger painting class where
Right.
he doesn't kill anybody. Like, what's the point? You know?
Right.
You know, so, yeah.
We'll see it. I mean, we're talking all this shit, but we're gonna see it.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll see it. This trailer, I know it's a teaser. I know they didn't show what they probably want to show. So
Yeah. And I'll
I'm
be honest,
still on the fence. I'm just on the fence. You know, who knows? They can drop another trailer a few months down the road, and it might wow me, and I'm like, holy shit, I want to see this now.
Yeah.
You know,
Like I said, if this movie is amazing, I promise you I will eat my words. I promise you I will backtrack this. I will say like, hey, I was wrong about this movie.
Yeah, I want to see. I want to like the movie.
Right. I don't want to go see a shitty movie.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. I'm not like I'm not kissing Marvel's ass because it's DC or any of that bullshit. No,
Right.
I was excited for this movie even when they first announced it.
Hell,
was like,
I'm going to admit the last two DC movies have been better than the last Marvel movie.
Yeah, you know, like when everyone said, yeah, they're making 1,000 Joker movies, you know,
Right.
and I was like, and one with De Niro and all that. I was like, oh, really? That's even when they dropped those leaked photos last year. I was like, oh, okay, I'll check it out. You know, I was still optimistic, but then they showed me this trailer, and I'm like,
And the thing is, the reason he signed on to this movie because, remember, he was up for Doctor Strange. You know.
Joaquin Phoenix?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they wanted him first. the reason he didn't do it because he didn't want to sign that multi-deal whatever thing. Like he didn't want to be in Infinity War and all this bullshit. He didn't want to do a movie one and done.
Yeah.
So get a Joker movie, get in, get out, be done with it. So, hopefully he'll throw everything he got to the movie. And maybe he will transcend what a comic book movie is supposed to be.
Yeah. And if it does that, hey, more power to him. Who knows if they're taking a chance and taking a bold approach, and it works, sweet.
Right.
And that could happen.
But here's the thing that worries me: the director of this movie is the director of the Hangover movies.
Yeah, I know.
So
I know that.
I don't know. This isn't like some auteur. Some visionary.
Yeah, no shit. This isn't. Yeah.
No idea like the first Hangover.
Yeah, this isn't like Francis Ford Coppola doing Apocalypse Now.
Right. This isn't that. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, and we move on to the next part.
Sure.
Okay, so this is some news that just dropped, and I don't really know where to go with it, but they're making a Cowboy Bebop movie, live action movie.
Yeah.
Is it an actual movie, or is it going to be like another Netflix thing?
I think it's going to Netflix, or is it going to be a series? I don't know. It's live action Cowboy Bebop.
Okay. Anyway, so they got the guy. They got their Spike Spiegel.
Spiegel, right? Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so they got their lead, and it's Harold from Harold and Kumar. Was it Kumar? No, it's not Kumar because the other guy. It's Harold from Harold and Kumar.
Yeah.
Can't remember his name.
John Cho.
John Cho. That's his name. Yeah, that guy. So he's playing Spike Spiegel. So I'm sorry, guys. Keanu Reeves not playing him. Sorry. Everybody wanted it, Eli, what you think about this?
I'm like kind of whatever. I mean, I was a big Cowboy Bebop fan. I'm a little skeptical on a live action version of it because live action anime movies aren't really have been that well done, really.
Everybody forgets Battle Angel Alita just doesn't exist.
Yeah, I mean, and that's okay. It's cool action and shit, but it's just okay.
Well, I didn't see it, so I thought people were gonna defend that or whatever. But okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. But yeah, I'm trying to think. Has there been a good anime movie? And I don't know.
I mean, that probably is the best one because the rest of them I can't even think of a good one. I'm kind of partial to Speed Racer myself.
That's all right. It's just long. Right. It looks cool. It's just fucking long, man.
Yeah, and plus, I don't know. I think I told you about this before. Like, just the light show they had in it just kind of fucked my eyes up.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I got punched in the eye like a while ago before I saw the movie. So, like, I won't say why I got punched in the eye, but I just say it kind of missed my whole experience of the movie. So
was it from a female?
It wasn't. I got hit in the face with a basketball. I was playing basketball.
Oh, okay. Did a female throw it?
No, it wasn't anything to do with a female. Oh yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not a big, and that thing is, I'm not a big anime fan. But Cowboy Bebop is one of the coolest shits I've ever seen. Like, I love that show. When it came on Adult Swim, I watched that show religiously. I taped it. I bought the fucking DVDs. I had downloaded the soundtrack. I was so in love with that fucking movie, or that anime. And then they eventually came out with a full-length movie, which I also loved.
Which was also fucking awesome. Like I said, Cowboy Bebop is also one of the few animes I'm familiar with also, and I agree with you. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the best just pieces of media ever made, ever. Regardless. I mean, movie, animation, book, whatever, comic. I mean, that Cowboy Bebop stands alone as one of the greatest things ever fucking made, I think. Right. I'm
wondering how they're going to pull off a live action. Because I agree with you. It's going to suck, so we shouldn't have high expectations of it. I will say this. I do feel like John Cho is miscast.
As Spike, I guess, yeah.
He's a good actor.
Yeah.
I get that. He's a good actor, but for this role?
But he did do some action scenes in Star Trek, so.
True, but it's not just the action. It's, can he be cool?
The guy who coined the term MILF.
Right. He did do that. I forgot he was an American Pie.
He coined the term MILF.
He did do that.
Can he be Spike cool?
I don't see it. Like I said, I think, but here's the thing, Eli, and I hate to go here, but I'm going to go there. I think what it was that they just wanted to get an Asian guy.
Okay, yeah.
I think it was because let's be honest. Let's say if they decided, let's just find a cool guy and play this role, and he wasn't Asian, you would have had another backlash. You would have had another Ghost in the Shell situation.
Yeah, but there's plenty of cool Asian actors.
There is.
Donnie
Who's that guy
Yen,
from G.I. Joe, Storm Shadow?
Oh yeah, or Donnie Yen, or the dude on Into the Badlands, or any. There's plenty
okay,
of.
so you got cool Asians, but why they pick him?
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe and then on top of that, the dude's like almost 50.
Well, then they should have just got Keanu Reeves because he's like
he's over 50 anyways. You might as well got Keanu Reeves been done with it, but he's too big now.
I mean, yeah, and
Keanu Reeves not gonna do Netflix.
Uh,
And plus, Keanu Reeves can kind of get away with it because he's like 1/16 Asian.
I suppose, yeah, he's like on everything. He's like part everything.
Yeah, he's like he's black. He can be in the next New Jack City remake, whatever. Blade, whatever.
Yeah.
Shit. So yeah, that's it. Oh yeah, nothing else we can talk about. Cowboy Bebop. So yeah, can we move on to the next part of the podcast? Just don't like the meat of it now.
Sure.
Okay, yes. So now we actually talk about the comic books. They were released this week, and we actually had some not good ones.
Not good ones.
Not really. I mean, like I said, we finally. I'm sorry. I should build this up a little bit more. I should have sold this. We finally have War of the Realms. We've been talking about this forever, and now it finally dropped. The greatest crossover of this year, who nobody gives a fuck about.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever talked about this.
We haven't. We come to the podcast, never talked about it. It's always been a punchline to me, to be honest with you. I was like, how about that War of the Realms? So I guess we could just start with that because I think this is the thing that everybody tuned in for, to hear what we think about War of the Realms.
Oh, really? We're not going to make them wait till the end?
I just want to get this shit over with.
Right.
Yeah, there's like no book of the week. Just get this shit over with. So yeah, this is the book we both read. So let's just talk about War of the Realms and just get it over with. So yeah, basically the book starts off, and like I didn't read any prequels, didn't read any setups.
Neither did I.
I just jumped into this shit and just went for it because we've written the comic books. We can fill in the blanks.
Yeah, and they said you didn't need to. They said you could jump right in. So that's what I did.
Pretty much did. You kind of could figure out what the fuck's going on. And it's not the 9 realms, it's the 10 realms.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, because for most people that haven't been keeping up with Marvel, they found a 10th realm, and the 10th realm is heaven. With angels flying around, and that's where Angela comes from. I'm not going to explain Angela. Go respawn book that you'll figure it out from there. So, yeah. So basically how the book starts off, Odin is sitting in Asgard by himself because everybody in Asgard has left to go to Midgard. Midgard was Earth, so Odin is by himself, and apparently Asgard is invaded by the Dark Elves, because Malekith sent them, and they kill Odin. So Thor is in New Jersey or some shit.
Yeah.
Hanging out, chilling.
Apparently all these Asgardians are like chilling out in the Bronx or some shit.
Yeah. I haven't been keeping up with this. I feel like it's weird, but let's just go with it. Okay.
Yeah.
So Thor is chilling in New Jersey. Loki teleports there, fucked up, knives all over the place, stuff like that. He was like, the War of the Realms have started. What's the weird ass dude name? Malekith? Yeah, Malekith is here. He's conquered all the realms, and he's coming to Midgard to fuck him up. And obviously he's attacked me, so he's attacking everybody else. And Thor's like, okay, take me to him. Before you take me to him, and he got like a pet dog. Hey, dog, go get the Avengers and tell them what's going on. And Loki and Thor go to Malekith, but they end up in Jotunheim. It's weird I know all these places only because of the Thor movies and shit. But anyway, They go to Jotunheim, place of the Frost Giants. Thor's like, I'm going to kill you because you're supposed to take me to the Dark Elf. They're like, oh, I did take you to the Dark Elf. And then they look up, and it's a Dark Elf. It's Malekith. He's teamed up with the Frost Giants, and the Frost Giants start attacking Thor, and Loki dips. Bye. That's it. Just leaves Thor to fight off like a jillion Frost Giants. So back on Earth, Midgard, whatever you want to call it, Spider-Man's flying around. He sees Freya, who is Thor's mother, even though I thought it was Gaia, but I'm not going to get into all that shit. Anyway, Freya's down there fucking up some Dark Elves and shit like that. Spider-Man comes down there, fuck up some Dark Elves. Then Lady Sif, Jane Foster, and some big bitch shows up, whatever her name is. and they're like, I guess they do Warriors 3. I don't know.
Big
anyway,
bitch. That reminds me of the Deuce Bigelow when he's got the
That's
chick.
a huge bitch. That's what I thought when I saw her.
Yeah. Freak!
But anyway, yeah, let's speed this up. A bunch of Avengers show up. Malekith shows up. He takes all of Thor's worst enemies from the other 10 realms. They come down to Midgard. Basically, the war is on Midgard versus the other 10 realms. They all fuck up some shit. Loki gets eaten by, what's the fuck name? Laufey? Yeah. Who's his dad. Eats him.
Yeah.
Like, fuck it. Okay.
Which I found surprising.
And not really. Oh, Loki be back.
Especially after he just chopped off his hand. I thought, oh, Loki's going to do some ill shit. And then he just gets eaten.
But that's what Loki does. He looked like he's about to do some ill shit and then gets killed.
Yeah.
It's so fucking Iron Man's like, well, that's fucked up. He just ate his own son. So obviously this shit's real. And we cut back, like, we had, like, last year, we had, like, about 10 Thors running around. Now we got none of them. You know, they cut back to Thor. Thor is fucking up, Frost Giants. Basically saying, keep sending them at me. I'm going to kill all of you. And that's how the book ends. So, yeah. Yeah. This didn't even have to be a crossover. It didn't have to be an event. It's a Thor book.
Yeah, they didn't have to, like, make it, like, crossover. Like, because I'm reading Venom. I'm like, damn, Venom's going to have to do some shit with this crap now? Like,
right.
Like,
what the fuck? Why does Thor have, like, a zillion hammers?
I don't know. You should have read prequel, dude.
I'm not reading that shit, man. Fuck it. You got to realize he got 1,000 hammers. Just go with it. Fuck it. But I'm just like, this could have just been you know what this felt like? And I don't know what the fuck. This is how I feel like Marvel's run out of ideas. Because this felt like Thor: The Dark World.
I thought of Masters of the Universe, that movie.
Well, that was also Thor: The Dark World. But it's like, you're making Malekith. Okay, you don't have Thanos. You don't have Galactus. You got Malekith? This guy? The worst fucking villain they had in the MCU, and now he's supposed to be destroying the universe? Like, why this guy?
I suppose Hela's fucking doing shit with the Guardians.
Yes, you can't have her, so she's out of it. So, and then you got the Dark Elves looking exactly how they did in the movie, who everybody hated that design. Like, why are you trying to make Malekith a thing? Stop trying to make Malekith a thing. He's not a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I just tried this out just to check it out because I know it's going to be bleeding all over everything else for the next few months. So I said, I'll give it a whirl. I thought the art was really cool, but
that's the thing about the art.
I don't really give a shit, I guess.
I don't know how I feel about the art. Some of the pages look really awesome. I agree with that. Some of the pages look kind of amateurish.
Yeah.
That's why I looked at the beginning of the book like, it's the same guy doing this book?
I suppose, yeah. Because, like, some of the shit with the Frost Giants and, like, all of the other realms is like, did they give a different artist to all the other realms? Cause,
yeah, like the last page when Thor was, like, swinging all his million hammers at the Frost Giant. Like, that page looked awesome.
Yeah. But then some of the, like, the shit with Spider-Man on the roof and they're just
it was like, is this a different guy drawing this shit?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. I mean... Like,
that's the thing, Marvel. If you're gonna draw this shit, like, have your best guy.
Yeah, no shit.
Because even the cover looks like shit.
Well, I got a fucking variant where it's the side of a van with Malekith and
shit just flying all over the place. Thor got 1,000,000 hammers. Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, Iron Man fighting Frost Giants and other shit. I was like, it's just too much shit flying around this cover. If I saw this book and I wasn't, worried about reviewing it, I would have passed the shit over. I was like, nah, it looks like too much shit flying around. Fuck this book.
Well, sorry for making you read it.
Well, I read it now, so fuck it.
Because the thing is, I thought you were going to read it because it was like the next big event. I figured, I'll check it out.
I would have read it. Honestly, I completely forgot the book even came out. So if I'd have known the book came out, I would have read it before you said anything. But when you were reminded about, like, fuck it, okay, I'll read it.
Yeah, because I figured you'd read it. So I'll grab it. And then I'm like, $6. Fuck.
Because honestly, I only wanted to read it just to shit on it. That's the only reason I wanted to read it.
I was like, man, this motherfucker cost $6. And it was, like, overly long. Like, yeah, it was just way too long. Like, it took too long to establish everything. And then, I mean, I was fairly entertained when the battle started happening on the streets and shit. Yeah. And like, it's just like, okay, here's Lord of the Rings shit in New York. Like, cool. Right. I'll buy that for $1, not $6, but I mean, I'm there, And I thought it was all right, but then I'm like, okay, is that it? I don't know if I want to buy number 2 for $6.
I don't know either. I mean, I talked to Gomer earlier today. He said, well, it's not Civil War 2. I don't know. At least Civil War 2 kept me interested.
I didn't even read Civil War 2, so.
Like, Civil War 2, like, had some stupid shit in it, but at least I was Like, okay, what stupid shit is Bendis gonna do this week? You know, this I could give two shits what happened with this.
Yeah,
Like, I don't really care what happens.
Yeah, and I'm like sitting there, oh, really? The Punisher's going to start fighting this shit too now? I'm like, man, oh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
They better have some good shit on it. There is one thing that I heard, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you, because like I said, we may or may not keep up with this book, but it's telling me in one of the Avengers tie-ins, the Squadron Supreme shows back up. I want to see them guys again, but they're going to like really dig in and make them the Justice League. They're going to call them the Squadron Supreme of America. And they're going to be based out of Washington, D.C. They're going to say DC's greatest heroes. So I want to see how that shit goes, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then there's this stupid Savage Avengers shit that looks just dumb as hell. It's got Conan and the Punisher on. They're making.
Come on, Eli. That sounds at least interesting.
I might check it out. Just but
at least piques my interest.
I can't think of. I don't know. Conan on the Avengers. I'm like.
It sounds weird, but it catches my attention. That's all. At least do some weird shit to make me go like, wait, what?
No, and like Captain Marvel ain't even there. Like I want to see like Conan and Captain Marvel like in a scene together.
Right.
Like, I'll do as I want, woman. That's the comic I want to read.
Oh, you know they're not gonna go there.
Oh, I know.
You're gonna piss off some people. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. Oh, what are we gonna get this book? Oh,
I give it a 3 out of 5. I thought it was okay.
Yeah, 3 out of 5. It's like I said, I don't know.
Like it wasn't like totally horrible. Like I thought it was okay. Like I read it and I said okay. I didn't read any of the prelude shit, so I can understand why it's explaining. You know, it's taken 20 pages to explain all the shit that I don't know about yet. Okay,
right.
Whatever. You know, but then the action started. I'm like, okay, this is kind of cool, you know, and then it ends, and I was like, I don't know if I, you know.
If it was a regular Thor book, I might have rated it higher, but the fact that they boosted this up as some kind of huge crossover that's supposed to, you know, spill over in every single book, I think that's why I'm being a little bit harder on it.
Yeah, and I'm saying for $6, I don't know if I want to. I mean, I'll just wait for it to come out on, you know, unlimited. To read the rest.
Right, and I'm damn sure not read all those damn crossovers.
Yeah, no shit.
Fuck Asgardians of the Galaxy. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, and that's just part 1 or act 1 or
right, like no.
Yeah, Avengers. I ain't read. Yeah, I'm not reading Squirrel Girl. You know.
I don't give a fuck how she fights one of the Frost Giants. You know?
Yeah. So.
Oh shit. Yeah. Okay, but next book. What else we got on there? I'm letting you go this time.
Well, since it was Shazam, should I just do this Shazam book?
Yeah, I want to see what Shazam book we got.
Okay, this is just Shazam #1. It came with the movie. Like, they give these out at the movies when I saw it. So, I don't know. It's Jeff Johns and Gary Frank. I'm thinking this is just a New 52. I think
so, yeah.
Because, I mean, the art is, it's Gary Frank, so the art is awesome. Because
he did that New 52, and I'll let you finish, but I'll go into detail about what that was.
But it's basically right out of the movie. Billy Batson, that's from Goodfellas. But Billy Batson goes into the, what do you call it? The pyramid or whatever, and basically,
the Rock of Eternity.
Yeah, and gets his powers. He finds the wizard, he says Shazam, and gets blessed with all the cool powers and becomes Shazam, and that's about it. And then goes out and tells his homie with the crutches, like, hey, I'm Shazam. And he's like, no way. And, that's about it. It's just, and he goes and, he saves. It's basically that first scene in the movie.
Yeah, where he saves the mugger and she gives him money to be like, hey, we got $5.
Yeah, it's basically all. It's basically all that. So it was like, it's cool. Like, I never read Shazam before, but this was really cool.
Okay,
so, yeah.
Let me give you some background on that. Like I said, all that stuff happened in the movie. So the New 52, there actually was not a New 52 Shazam comic, like a solo book on its own.
Okay.
What they did was Jeff Johns just threw backstories in each Justice League book, like Justice League 10, Justice League 9. I can't remember off the top of my head, but he just made backstories in there. And if you put them together, then you got one Shazam story. And basically that story is the movie.
Okay, yeah. Because it says to be continued in the Shazam Origins graphic novel.
Right. So that's what it was. They just took those backstories, made them one story, and made them a whole book. So yeah.
Yeah.
But basically, that was the base of it, because a lot of that stuff was from the New 52. It was a few stuff that was new, like Darla and Pedro and stuff like that. Like all those are Jeff Johns' New 52 creations. They didn't exist in the book before then.
Okay, yeah.
Like, but Mary and Freddie Freeman, they did. You know?
And this is like a really cool tie-in. Like, it's Jeff Johns and Gary Frank, two top talented creators. You know, just in time for the movie. Here, check this out, kids. I mean, if I was a kid who liked the movie and I got this comic, I'm like, I'm going to go check out Shazam.
Right. I want to check out some more books of Shazam, because Gary Frank is a legendary classic artist.
Yeah. You know, versus the Venom book, you know, that they gave out with that movie.
Or the Realms. You know?
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, every time a Marvel book comes out or a Marvel movie comes out and you go to read that said Marvel comic book, and it's not like the movie at all.
Like Guardians of the Galaxy, half the Guardians are dead. You're like, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah. You know, like that Venom book. They gave away Venom books when Venom came out, and that sucked. You know, the art sucked, the story sucked. Like, this sucks. Like, why would you? Why?
Right.
Yeah, like they just don't give a fuck about comics at all. Yeah. Marvel don't give a shit about
They would have did better giving away like Lethal Protector or some shit.
Yeah, no shit. You know, or the Donny Cates shit.
Or the Donny Cates shit. That shit is fucking awesome.
Yeah, like fucking A, man. Fucking Marvel. They just don't care about their comics, man.
Honestly, the Donny Cates shit is like way better than the movie and stuff. But.
Yeah, I know. All right. So Shazam. Shazam.
Okay. Oh yeah, classic story. You don't have to rate it. It's a classic book. I guess my turn. What do I got?
Do you have Justice League?
Justice League. Yeah, Justice League number. What is this? 21. Justice League number 21. Wrath of the World Forger. That's the title of the book. Anyways,
Snyder? Is that Snyder?
Yes, it's Scott Snyder.
Yeah.
Not the other one. Scott Snyder and George Jimenez, or is it Jorge? I don't know. I'll let Gomer explain all this shit. Anyway, the book starts off, Superman is trapped in some kind of pocket dimension, can't get out. The future Superman shows up and tells him, Superman, you're trapped here. So Superman's like, you monster, you maniac. So he tries to punch him with his super punch. Future Superman blocks it with his finger. And then body slams him and like, you're not getting out of here. You're trapped here forever. Don't worry, I'm not going to kill you. There's a planet next that has all kind of fruits and vegetables, stuff like that. So you want to live, you can do that. But the nearest sun that it takes to you is like 100 years away. So you'll never reach it. And that's where your friends are. So right now I'm going to leave you here. And then he flies off. He goes back to the sixth dimension where the Justice League are. They're in this utopia where everything is just awesome and beautiful, stuff like that. And Batman is talking to Dick, and they're talking about Alfred's dead, but they're in some theme park. They're in some Central Park that's named after Alfred, and they're just, relaxing, telling him the family's doing great, even though that Bruce is dead now and Gotham is safe now. Martian Manhunter telepathy, beeps him and stuff like that. He like, conference call right now. We got to do it. Conference call. So basically what the conference call is with the Justice League, they have this psychic boardroom where they all talk and conference, whatever like that. And they basically talking about what the next move is going to be. Like, something's not right here. This utopia is not what it's going to be. And all of a sudden, their psychic utopia, future Superman shows up out of nowhere in their psychic utopia. Like, Superman didn't even have that power. They were like, who the fuck are you? You ain't Superman, because Superman can't even do that shit. Like, you're right. I'm not Superman. And this person to the World Forger, the guy that was on the front of the book and stuff like that. Basically said the World Forger is the son of Perpetua, brother of the Monitor and the Anti-Monitor, and they destroy multiverse and shit like that. You're like, yeah, I'm going to do that with the multiverse here also. Lex Luthor has Perpetua, and eventually he's going to, like, turn half the universe into evil. And only way I can save the universe is to save them and kill off everybody else. But I'm only going to do it depending on what the Justice League decides right now. Do you want to save the universe? Half the universe if you can, or do you want to like let everybody go away? And the Justice League kind of half divided on what they want to do. Question of Batman's like, fuck everybody, But they never say their decision. The World Forger says, whatever you decide, you just think it, and I make the decision from there. And then he just looks at me like, oh, so that's your decision. So be it. So he teleports them to Apocalypse, but it's like Apocalypse that's really like a prison for nothing but supervillains. It's like 100 times bigger than Apocalypse. And then they get catched by the police there, and the police is like, stop where you're going. you're not here. And they're like, where's Superman? We killed Superman. Don't worry about that. They're like, who are you? And then the head person takes off their mask, and it's Lois Lane. And Lois Lane is like, I'm going to tell you everything that happened, and then that's how the book ends. So, like I said, more Scott Snyder convoluted shit. It gets more convoluted with every book that goes on. Oh yeah, I said something about Mr. Mixioplicknick is running around like Godzilla destroying shit, whatever. 3 out of 5. I half know what's going on with this book, to be honest with you. But yeah, whatever. So
All right.
that's what I got with that.
All right, what do I got? I'll do Punisher. Good old Punisher.
Punisher,
Yeah.
good old faithful.
Yeah, Matt Rosenberg. Art by Simon Kradansky and Antonio Fabella. So yeah. So been digging on this book. I've always been a Punisher fan, but this new run is really cool. So I guess a quick recap. Baron Zemo has taken over the country of Bulgaria, and he's been trying to get the country accepted into the United Nations, even though the country is it's a safe haven for criminals and shit. He had the Punisher thrown into prison for killing, what the fuck's his name? The ring guy. What's his name?
Mandarin.
Mandarin, yeah. Duh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Punisher.
Trevor Slattery.
Yeah, so Punisher killed Mandarin, and Zemo put him in this prison in that country, and then he faked his own death. He had Jigsaw disguise himself as Frank Castle, and they staged a fake execution. So Frank goes to prison, but he ends up escaping, and instead of fleeing the country, he decides to stay, and he's going to take out Zemo, because, that's what the Punisher does. So he gets himself a tank, and he's just driving around the city blowing shit up. So that's where this issue picks up. Punisher, Frank in a tank, just dropping many suckers, just doing Punisher shit. Yeah. Killing all these thugs. Yeah. So he's just rolling around, the city, blowing shit up, taking out the Hydra agents and all that shit. At one point, Zemo scrambles these fighter jets to take out the tank. Frank goes and parks it on top of a dam that overlooks the city. The jets come in, trying to take him out. Frank equips the tank with a bunch of fuel tanks. And, of course, the fighter jets blow up the tank, but then the tank blows up the dam. So, which causes flooding. So the whole city gets flooded from that shit. So, that's about it. I mean, Frank just, faces off with Jigsaw at the end. There's a little bit of a cliffhanger, but it's just Frank doing Punisher shit, really violent fun. There's a really funny scene where Zemo is meeting with these foreign investors, talking about their trade deals and shit. And Zemo is trying to reassure them that everything's fine, to remain calm. But meanwhile, in the background out the window, there's all these explosions going off in the city and shit. So it's kind of funny. But other than that, it's just Punisher, doing Punisher shit. Lots of fun. 4 out of 5. I give it a 5 out of 5, but I've just noticed that I'm just missing blood. I'm missing the gore. I'm missing that good old Steve Dillon gore. R.I.P. Steve Dillon. Just missed the
Yeah, because the books I read, it was violent as hell. They had the disclaimer on the beginning of the books. You know.
And there's violence, but there's no exploding heads or bloody guts and shit. But the art is still cool. It's very great art, dark and gritty. It's just missing, just lacks blood is all. So, 4 out of 5.
Okay, pretty cool. Well, last book I got is a special book that I had to read this one, and this one is Major X.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, we don't do X books here, but this one I had to do. It caught my attention because Major X is written and drawn by Rob Liefeld.
I heard about this. So.
Yeah. So for those that don't know who Rob Liefeld is, what the fuck you doing listening to this podcast? I'm not even going to get into about him, but anyway, I'm just going to go right to the book and just say what the book is because it's the Liefeldiest Liefeld book you can possibly Liefeld. Basically, Major X is from the future. He's from like the future, distant future, and he teams up with Future Beast. Now it's probably not the same Beast, but it is a Beast that looks like Beast, and they teleport into the past because apparently their utopia, the mutant utopia called existence is being erased. Existence with the X.
Okay.
And their main guy named Existential is sending them back in time, to save existence. So they go back in time to the school for gets the youngsters, the Xavier Mansion, but they went to the time.
Extreme.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, extra. Yeah.
X-rated. That's the 90s for you. X was on everything. So they go back to the school for the youngsters back in, we don't know exactly when time, but obviously it's the time when Rob Liefeld had the book, and they teleport and they find X-Force, So X Major X, what's his name? One of them. Kicks the shit out of X-Force. There's only one guy left, Cable, So Cable and him fight back and forth.
Wait. Who was the first guy that got punched? Was it Warpath?
Warpath didn't he show up?
Oh, of course not.
So obviously he must have got his ass kicked. But yeah, he's not even on the ground just laying down with mouth bleeding and shit like that. I see Shatterstar gets his ass kicked. Domino. Yeah. That's all the people that got Cannonball.
Oh, okay.
But no Warpath. Maybe he was just gone that day. I don't know. So Major X and Cable fights. But the other future beasts, they team up on Cable, kick Cable's ass. So Cable's laid out. And they think but he's not trying to fight everybody. He's trying to have a conversation and tell them what's going on because the future's in danger. But he had the conversation. He was like, where are the X-Men? Who the fuck are these guys? And then you hear a voice saying, well, if you wanted an X-Man, you got an X-Man, bub. You know what that is.
Oh, yeah.
Wolverine jumps out of nowhere. He fights Major X Major. I can't remember what the guy's name is. They fight, and he's like, you know what? Since you got adamantium claws, I got an adamantium sword. So he put out an adamantium sword, clink and clang. They fight each other, stuff like that. Wolverine wants to know, how the hell you get that much adamantium? Well, in the future, they made this sword out of your bones, Wolverine. Cable wakes back. Before Cable can wake back up, Cable like, okay, you guys calm down. Let's spread this stuff out. Before they can fight, another assassin comes out of nowhere named Dreadpool.
Oh.
Yeah.
Does he have dreadlocks?
No, he's Deadpool, but I don't know. It's just Dreadpool. He's Deadpool with more shoulder shit on him.
Okay, I was like, well, what's more brutal than just dead?
But that would be awesome if he had dreadlocks. But Deadpool would do some stupid shit like that with the afro or some shit like that to pop out of nowhere. So anyway, Dreadpool isn't like Deadpool because Dreadpool is grittier, mean, and stuff like that. So he starts fighting Major X Major, whatever the guy's name is. They fight stuff like that. Dreadpool is kicking X Major's ass, but all of a sudden, Deadpool comes out. Oh, so this book is stupid as fuck, man. But I'm gonna keep going. Okay, so Deadpool has Major X's bike, throws it at Dreadpool, and then, okay, I'm gonna amass you, Dreadpool. Let's find out what your real name is. Is it K? Is it J? Slade? Is that you? Inside jokes like that. But before he can do that, Dreadpool kicks Deadpool off, and Deadpool like, I'm gonna come back to kill everybody later on. And he teleports out of there. So now everybody's looking around, and Major X is still there, and Cable's like, go ahead, take your mask off. We already know who you are. Well, I know who you are, so go ahead and tell everybody else. He was like, okay. So Major X takes his mask off. He said, I am Alexander Nathaniel Summers. Oh, and he's got dreadlocks.
Wait, who is this now? That's who Mr. X is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Major X, but yeah. Okay, so he's Cable's son.
I was about to say, is he related to Cable? Okay.
Yeah, everybody's related to Cable. So he's Cable's son from the future. He's come back in time to save the future, and Cable's the only one that can help him. The end. Yeah, more Liefeld batshit insanity.
Of course.
Yeah. But it's just like it was back in the 90s. You go read those old books, you're like, what the fuck was I reading? And it's just like this. More insane, stupid shit happening all over the place for no fucking reason whatsoever.
And y'all love that shit.
And we ate that shit up with a spoon.
Fucking top-selling shit. Wizard. Top 10.
Honestly, Rob Liefeld saved the comic industry and killed it all at the same time.
Shit.
Yeah. Overall, I give this book a 3.5 out of 5. I think it's more Rob Liefeld insanity. It's all the good shit, all the bad shit you want from him and don't want from him. It's there. You remember what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. And he's just in his wheelhouse, so that's all I got.
Okay.
You got any more books? Or?
Yeah, I got one more. I'll do Immortal Hulk, number 16.
Cool.
Al Ewing just crushing this shit, yo. So we got Hulk and Doc Samson. They're trying to find the body of Rick Jones. His corpse is missing. Plus, Betty Ross has gone missing after an assassination attempt on Bruce Banner, which obviously didn't work because he's still alive. You just can't kill him. He just won't die.
Right. He's immortal.
Yeah, he's immortal. So Doc Samson and the Hulk, they infiltrate the Shadow Base, trying to find Rick Jones's corpse. It turns out that they've exhumed his body and they're doing some weird experiments on him. And they get attacked by these Hulk monsters, these animals that have been gamma exposed. So there's like a Hulk gorilla, a Hulk bat, Hulk dog, and Hulk all kinds of shit, just fighting Doc Samson and Hulk. So that's pretty cool. But then the soldiers show up with these ultraviolet lights and they shine it on the Hulk. Because, the Hulk only comes out at night now, So the UV lights act like sunlight, so they shine it on the Hulk. He turns back into a human.
That's smart as hell.
Yeah, so, and then the soldiers, they shoot him. They shoot Bruce Banner. And they think they got him. He's laying there bleeding, and they're like, we got you, Bruce. But then he looks at him with this evil smile and says, yeah, I'm not Bruce. I'm Joe. So, da-da-da-da. So
Joe Fix-It.
They're bringing Mr. Fix-It. And that's where the book ends.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where the book ends. Pretty cool. 5 out of 5. I love this book. Just taking the Hulk mythology and just giving it a campy horror monster movie makeover. Just flipping it on its head. I just love this book. So, yeah, check it out, yo. Immortal Hulk, look forward to this every month.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Like I said, if you listen this long, definitely like, share, and subscribe. We have our other podcasts. We have our sister podcast, Geek Sav. We have Comic Cast. We have Hoodoo Entertainment. We have This Geeks and Comics. We have what's the other one? Instruments Destruction. I always forget that one. And I think that's pretty much it. But we got a bunch of them. So listen to all of them. They're going to give you different views. And I haven't listened to Geek Sav Joker podcast yet. I got to check that out to see if there's any difference in what we got going on here. I just want to see what Comic Cast got to say about Water Realms. I feel like they're going to love this shit.
I don't know. Maybe. I know Gomer wasn't really too excited about it, but yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. It's like the talk of the town right now. Water Realms. We'll see where we go. Like I said, we're 2 weeks down from Infinity War. Hopefully you got your tickets. If you can't get your tickets, you are assed out right now.
Yeah, I guess I'm assed out
everywhere. That being said, it's Leroy.
This is Eli.
We talk to you guys next week. Same bully time, same bully channel.
Of the sea, back to the block, Snoop Doggy Dogg, funky, yes, the dot went solo on that ass, but it's still the same. Long Beach is the spot where I serve my cane. Follow me, but don't lose your grip. 9 tris ain't the years there for me to fuck up shit. So I ain't holding nothing back, and motherfucker, I got 5 on the 20 sack. It's like that, and as a matter of fact, cause I never hesitate to put a nigga on his back.
Yeah, so keep out the manuscript. You see that it's a must we drop gangsta
What's my motherfucking name? It's the bounce of the wild, creeping and crawling, Yiggy yes yo, and Snoop Doggy Dogg in the motherfucking house like every day. Dropping shit with my nigga Mr. Dr. Dre. Like I said, niggas can't fuck with this. And niggas can't fuck with that shit that I drop, cause you know it don't stop. Mr. 187 on the motherfucking top. Tick tock, now with a Glock, just some nuts in the cock. Robbing motherfuckers, then I kill them blood cops. And I step through the fog and I creep through the small, cause I'm Snoop Doggy, Doggy, Doggy. Your hands in the motherfucking air and wave the motherfuckers like you just don't care. Yeah, roll up the dank and pour the drink and watch your stank. Cause doggies on the gang, my bankroll's on swole. My shit's on hit legit, now I'm on parole. Stroll with the dog pound right behind me and up in your bitch is where you might find me laying that, playing that G thing. She want the nigga with the biggest nuts, and guess what? He is I and I am him. Slim with the tilted brim. What's my motherfucking name?
Nasty dog.